Vega, open up the comms. The great pilgrimage awaits us. Hello, I'm Dr Samuel Hayden. I trust you are receiving this transmission clearly. Well then, it's that time of year again. The time where the Slayer embarks on the great journey of life and self-discovery, bearing witness to the world and all its wonders. I wonder what lessons we'll learn along the way. I'm allowing all non-essential personnel access to view these video logs and accompany us through our odyssey if they wish to do so. However, before we do, I must give a disclaimer. This particular Doomslayer that you will see tonight does not in any way represent or speak on behalf of the following corporations: id Software, the Slayers Club, Bethesda Softworks, ZeniMax, Microsoft, Xbox Game Studios, Ghoul Tone Records, and more importantly, the UAC. Do not, under any circumstances, take their incoherent, uneducated babbling seriously. All comments made tonight are purely and only for comedic and entertainment purposes only, and should in no way be viewed as a factual opinion or credible news source. So please excuse their neglectful behavior. Now with all that finally settled and out of the way, let's get started. Enjoy the show. Vega, complete your final preparations and inform the Slayer that we are ready to begin. Slayer, gently press the button lightly to initiate the start sequence.
Mr. Dumbass, I can bring a lot to Dumbass and Dumbass. I'm a go-getter. Dumbass material all the way. So, am I your man, Mr. Dumbass?
The name is Dumas.
What a dumbass.
Come in.
Frank, I don't feel so good.
Maybe you should go home.
Hey, what do you mean it didn't work?
He didn't believe me.
Erdag is the Maker's homeworld. It is not accessible to anyone. No human or sentinel has ever set foot in their dimension. You can use the Maker's origin factory in the Hell City of Necrovol to pass through the void. Once there, you will not be able to leave on your own. But Vega can create an exit portal for you. That is why you must bring Vega through the void with you to Urdak.
Understood. I'm detaching myself from the ship's systems. Processing.
Alright, buddy, just you and me.
Transfer to external
Let's go
drive
kick some
complete.
ass one last time.
Vega is no longer connected to your ship. I will reconfigure the portal to Necrovol for you. Do you require anything else before we begin our journey to Urdak? You will not be able to return until the mission is complete.
Don't touch anything while I'm gone. Stay away from my personal stash. Don't fuck up the place. And also, don't go clicking randomly on a bunch of obscure file folders. Those are meant only for me. I am not held responsible for how bad your eyes hurt, okay? Fuck off. Now let's listen to the praises from the people.
This is an emergency broadcast from the Ark Resistance. Numerous reports from survivor cells across the globe are confirming that at some time within the last 24 hours, the demonic invaders have begun amassing in swarms near Gore nests. Ark scientists have theorized that this behavior is indicative of the arrival of a super predator, a world eater. Ark personnel advise all survivors remain in the safe zones.
Ooh, Hayden, they're talking about Joe Mama!
Argent energy is made from the souls of Hell's victims. This is the factory where that takes place. Necrovol, the city of the damned.
Oh, is that what this place is? I could have swore it was a FedEx. Alright. Here we go. You know, as I look off to the side, I realize I got like only 4 cans of Guinness left, and they're going to be gone by the end of this night. And that makes me sad. I need to get more Guinness. The month isn't done. I need more. Oh, God, that's probably why I'm playing so fucking fucking. Oh, my God. Dude, hold me a lobster, you fuckface! Ugh! Oh, God. Are you ready to go to the Church of Comedy? Are you ready for another installment of Life Lessons in Doom Eternal? I know I am. Thank you all. Truly, you are all wonderful, wonderful. It's amazing that people still show up for this. I am humbled. I know this channel doesn't have a lot of subscribers. I think I'm like at 35. But you know what? You are 35 of the best fucking people to entertain. I thank you very, very much. Thank you. Oh, it warms my heart and it makes this worth doing. I mean it with every fiber of my fucking body. And hell yeah, I'm drunk. But don't worry. I'll be sober enough to tell you some fun life stories. Don't you worry about it. We're going to have fun tonight. Fun, fun, fun. While we finish off vanilla-based Doom Eternal before we enter the Ancient Gods Part 1 and the Ancient Gods Part 2. So don't worry, there's plenty of Month of Doom still left in the tank, and we still got a lot of ground to cover. Even though we're going to be finishing off the base level of Doom Eternal, doesn't mean we're done, okay? We still got plenty more to go through. Alright, so let's go ahead and start off by sharing some wonderful life stories and entertaining you fine folks tonight. Let's go ahead and just start it off. Let's tell some jokes. Let's tell some haha stories, alright? I'm pretty sure everybody has had one hell of a month, probably one hell of a year. And I know everything seems difficult. It seems hard and trying. But damn it, the day will eventually end. And you will get to rest your weary head. You will get to rest your poor heart. and breathe a sigh of relief. Okay? Just hang in there, alright? Hang in there. Because I felt it. I felt the burn. I felt the pain. And in the end, whatever it is you're doing, whatever it is you're dealing with or working towards, it'll all level out. Okay?
Here the humans arrive.
Because shit can't last 24/7. It too needs a commercial break. At the time of this video log, I am happy to say that I am officially a Class A CDL driver, meaning I can drive the big trucks now. And I couldn't be more terrified. Oh my God. I honestly, I'm excited. I'm happy. I didn't think I can do it. But there's that part of me in the back of my head that says, how low are your standards that you think I'm capable of driving this thing? I mean, don't get me wrong. I studied. I worked hard for it. I gave it my all. But you gotta stop and wonder to yourself, because you know your own limitations. You know what you're capable of. And you're just like, really? You think I'm qualified? Well, shit. And a part of you starts wondering, how difficult was it? I mean, to me personally, for someone who knows absolutely nothing about vehicles and the industry behind that, I came into it blind. Everything was new to me. I saw everything with a fresh set of eyes. So it was all overwhelming. It's what I like to call dump tank learning. It's where they just kind of throw you in, and you just have to absorb as much as you can. And whatever you don't understand, you have to put to aside and come back to it later. And I feel like it is the most common way that we are teaching people, but it is also the most ineffectual way of teaching people. And I feel like it's going to become problematic in the future. And I'll explain what dump tank learning is in a minute. However you feel about the educational system, well, that's your opinion, but to me personally, that's how I feel. So what is dump tank learning? It's basically just throwing someone into the deep end of the pool and just seeing what they soak up. It doesn't matter. There's no like, we're going to ease you into it. It's just sink or swim. We push you, and if you drown, you drown. If you swim to the surface, you swim to the surface. Either way, you're going to learn today, bitch. That's dump tank learning. And to me, I feel that it's the most overwhelming form of learning because you got so much information you're trying to process that they're treating you almost like a fucking iPhone. I'm sorry, I'm not an iPhone. That's why they're called smartphones, and this is a dumb brain. Alright? So all my information, everything that I'm researching, all my sources come from the internet, and I can only process so much and I can only retain so much. I'm not the kind of person that retains everything they've ever heard. I only retain what's relevant to me because I don't feel like you need to know every fucking thing in the world. Because those are the kinds of people that fuck up the most. The ones who think they know everything, but take no accountability to when they fuck up. If you don't understand what I'm talking about, turn on the TV and check out the news. That's my one political joke for the day. Thank you. That's as far as I'll go on that subject. But my point is that the people who think they know everything don't bother to learn anything new. And they never grow because they think they understand everything. But people in dump tank learning, people like me, we're always learning something new, and we're always looking at things from a different perspective because I've never seen it before. And I'm seeing it in a way where I'm going to question everything. Now the problem with that is it kind of stops the learning process for some curriculums and for some people, because they're like, well, it's always been this way. But why? Because why? Because that's not a good reason. Why? Why do we do this? What is the purpose of this? You see, I'm not trying to question whether or not whatever it is you're teaching is ineffectual. I just want to learn the method to your madness. What is the purpose of this? If you can't explain to me the purpose of this, then you yourself never understood what was there to learn from this, other than I just do it because. That's not how you learn. That's not how you teach anybody. You do it just because? That's shitty. Imagine if life had a customer service number, right? That you would call. Because the customer's always right. You always have a complaint. I'm a customer. I got some shit to complain about. I want to complain about life, and I want to talk to life supervisor. So I call 1-800-LIFE. I make that phone call. And I am looking for one particular employee. Common sense. And let me tell you something. Common sense is the worst employee of the world, but he is the most in demand. But the problem with common sense is he never fucking shows up to work. How? How is he an amazing employee, but I'd never fucking see him? Where's the common sense in that? Oh. So you're left to deal with two of life's lesser employees. Logic and reason. Pretend with me for a minute here. You're upset. You want to make a complaint. You call 1-800-LIFE. Doot, 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 doot. Or a rotary dial. If you can fucking remember that. And if you do... Old! I know, I am old because I remember what a rotary dial is. I never felt so old before when I was talking to a classmate and I was telling them my age because they asked me, how old are you? Oh, I was around when dial-up was a thing. What's dial-up? Fuck you. Dial-up was a time to be alive. It wasn't good. I'm not going to say dial-up was the shit. I wish we can go back. No, fuck dial-up. But at the time, it was amazing. It was a simpler time. We had no MySpace. It was just space. Nobody had possession of it yet. What a time to be alive for sure! So you call up live customer support, you hear a few ringtones, and finally someone on the other side picks up and answers. And says, thank you for calling live customer support. This is Reason speaking. How may I help you? And the bitter old man side of you thinks to yourself, why the fuck does he have a reason to sound happy? What makes him so chipper? Fuck him! I hate it already. Why did I ever call this number? Be real with me for a minute, okay? Or with yourself. Positive people fucking annoy you, don't they? They're like, everything's so great. Fuck you, everything for me sucks right now. Go fuck yourself. Oh man, you can't think like that. Sure you can. Look at me. I'm the embodiment of shit. It's like that one classmate I was talking to that didn't know what dial-up was. They tried to give me a motivational speech and they said, come on man, you gotta be upbeat, you gotta be positive, you gotta think about the good things in life, think about the positive outcome. And I said to him, what are you, fucking 20? And he says to me, no, I'm 21. And I said, no wonder! Because I knew he was full of shit. And I said to him, yeah, 31. I was around when dial-up was a thing. What's dial-up? And that's how that conversation happened. And it was in that moment that I realized that I had a superpower unlike anything before. I had the power to tell how old you were based on your level of optimism. With great power comes great responsibility. It's a shit power. That's not a good superpower. That's just what happens when you live life long enough. That means I have officially become the grumpy old man going, oh, just you wait till you get to my age, sonny. I'm at that age now where I'm starting to say things like I'm at that age now. I know how old you are based on the amount of optimism you have. Because my bullshit meter goes off. It goes crazy. Just woo, woo, woo. Bullshit detected. So anywho, you call live customer support. And Reason answers and says to you, thank you for calling live customer support. This is Reason speaking. How may I help you? And you reply to them simply with, yes, I would like to make a complaint about life because I am failing to grasp and understand what is happening around me, because I feel like I'm living in a parody, like I'm taking crazy pills. Why is it that every day when I wake up, I feel like I live in a Monty Python skit? So they enthusiastically reply saying, well, sir, I have a very good reason. Should I write it down? Well, not necessarily. It's easier to remember, but you can if you want. Okay, let me get a pen and paper. You rush, get a pen and paper, come back, and say, I'm ready. All right. Are you ready to write it down? Yes. Are you ready to hear the reason why life has gone to shit and everything's absolutely ludicrous? Yes, yes, yes. All right. I will tell you. And the answer is just because. Just because. And what else? That's it. Wait, what? Yeah, that's it. Just because. Yes. That's your answer. Yes. Just because. Yes. That's a shit answer! That's a terrible answer! What do you mean, just because? Just because? Because what? What? That makes no fucking sense! What do you mean, just because? Well, sir, I apologize if you're not satisfied with the answer, but unfortunately, that's just what the answer is. The reason why life is ludicrous and completely crazy, and why you feel like you're living in a Monty Python skit every day while taking crazy pill is just because. No, I can't accept that answer. I would like to speak to someone else, please. Is there someone above you, okay? Someone with a little more common sense. Yes, we do have common sense available. Would you like to speak to them? I can transfer you over. Yes! Please, for the love of God, yes. I would love to speak to common sense. I need something better than just because. Please, transfer me to common sense. All right, sir. I will be happy to transfer you to common sense. So they transfer you to common sense. You hear a dial tone. Beep, beep. You're waiting patiently. And then you hear a clicking of a tape. Just... And then followed by...
Hello, you have reached the answering machine of common sense. I am currently not available at the moment, so please leave your name, number, and reason to why you're calling, and I will get back to you as conveniently and as quickly as possible. Thank you.
Where the fuck are you? The world needs you, and you're not at the office. Where the hell did you go? Why did you leave us, common sense? Come back. Come back to us. Where did you go? That's a dial tone for all you youngins out there. God, I'm old. But nevertheless, you have to call back. So you call back live customer support. Reason picks up the phone and greets you once again by saying, hello, thank you for calling live customer support. This is Reason speaking. How may I help you? Yeah, he wasn't fucking there. I'm sorry? Yeah, it's the guy that called before. Yeah, common sense wasn't there. I had to leave a message. Oh, sure, I do apologize. I'm sorry. Common Sense is a very busy individual and is usually out of the office, but I can assist you as much as I can. Yeah, no, I don't need to hear your reason, all right? Just please, someone just give me a logical answer to why things are the way they are. Whoa, 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 whoa. You said logic? Yes. We do have logic. Yes, please. Can you put me through to logic? I want to speak to logic. Absolutely, sir. Give me 1 minute. Yes, thank you, please. I want a logical explanation for this, please. So you hear a dial tone. You wait patiently as reason patches you through to logic. You hear someone pick up the phone on the other side. Yes, they're in the office. And they say to you,
Hello, thank you for calling Live Customer Support. This is Logic speaking. How may I help you?
yes, I want to know why every day when I wake up, life feels like a Monty Python skit. And that I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. When has my reality become satire and satire my reality? I just want to know why. Why the madness? And when will it stop? Please. I want some logic behind all of this.
Well, sir, logically, there's a very good reason for that.
Oh, fuck you! Click! You hang up angrily because you know what he's gonna say. Just because! Now, there's one thing I have to explain to the younger generation. Back in the day when you actually had a real phone mounted to the wall, not like a smartphone, whenever you wanted to convey your emotions, you could do it with ease by simply slamming the phone as hard as you can onto the receiver because you were trying to make the other person deaf on the other side, where they would just hear, Ping! You just slam it on the receiver. Just, fuck you! Ping! But nowadays, you're kind of like, fuck you! Toot! Not as cool, not as effective. But that's the one thing we did lose with smartphones. We lost that ability to be aggressive with the hang-up. Flip phones, you could close them as hard as you can because they were basically a little clamshell. Just click! Smartphones, you can't do that. Just, fuck you! It sounds so passive-aggressive. You will never understand the satisfaction of telling somebody off and slamming that phone so hard into the receiver. Oh. It was a time to be alive. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. But yeah. Because I'm drunk, I absolutely forgot the point of all that. So I'm gonna move on to the next story. Hey, welcome to the Month of Doom! This is what happens when I get drunk. I can't remember shit. And it's going up. So deal with it. And no matter how embarrassing and stupid the stories are, they've happened. Okay? One of my mottos that I always say is, it's not a proud moment in my life, but it's a moment nonetheless. And you never truly appreciate a moment until it becomes a memory. Good or bad, you learn from it. And I will explain to you shortly the next story of when I accidentally wore women's pants.
You hear about sexual harassment on TV, and it makes the headlines in newspapers. As an employee, what do you need to know about it? First, sexual harassment is against the law, and it's against your company's policy. So what is sexual harassment?
Linda, you are doing a fine job here.
Oh, well, thank you, Steve.
But you know, you might try dressing a little sexier at work.
I'm sorry?
I mean, we're talking about your job here.
There may be physical harassment.
Wow. You really tense today, Nancy.
Ow, Bill!
Sorry. You looked really tense.
No, I really don't like it when you do that. Can you please stop?
I'll never stop, Nancy. Never.
In some instances, the harassment may be verbal.
Word around the office is you've got a fat cock.
Yes, I do.
I've got a fat cock, too. Maybe we should rub our fat cocks together sometime. Maybe a little oil. 2 fat cocks. Together. Oil.
It might be visual harassment, such as derogatory posters, cartoons, or drawings.
Sexual harassment is not always about sex. It may be the result of a power struggle between a manager and a subordinate.
Man. I could go for a power fuck right now.
Change is slow, and what was acceptable in common behavior years ago can now be sexual harassment.
Smells like vagina in here.
Excuse me?
Smells like fresh vagina in here.
Are you talking about my vagina?
Maybe.
Everyone wants to be treated fairly and with respect. Treat your coworkers with the courtesy and respect that you want for yourself. It's your company's policy, and it's the law.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and shut off all the sound for this one because I need everyone's attention so I can give this story context, okay? Everything was accidental. So let me go ahead and crack open a beer and begin explaining to you how I ended up wearing women's pants accidentally. Accidentally, okay? And give you the proper context. So here we go. Are you ready, kids? Let's go. Many moons ago, when I was 21 and I recently moved to the new state of Florida, I was an attractions attendant at the Incredible Hulk roller coaster at Universal Studios. It was one of the worst jobs I ever held in my life. I fucking hated it. Every waking moment of the day. An attractions attendant is the person that wears the costume that basically guides you through the line. You feel like a farmer herding cattle because they're too stupid to know where they need to go, so you kind of need to push them in the right direction. Otherwise, they kind of wander off on their own. That's what tourists do. They shut off their brain. They don't think. And I used to wear a stupid yellow radiation hazmat style suit, but it was made of this cheap, crappy nylon. You know, the kind that when you scratch against the surface, it goes that kind. And it had this terribly big sewn in patch that says Gamma Technician, and you had to wear a shitty clip-on belt. It wasn't a real belt, it was just something that just went around your waist. You basically had sweatpants and a sweatshirt, and you look like a radioactive banana. It was terrible. And you had to wear this in the blazing hot sun of Florida in the summertime. I hated it. They didn't care about your comfort. They didn't care about how practical and how cooling the suit was. They just cared if you were in costume and in themed. And God help you if you walked to Harry Potter like that, because they were so pissy going, you can't walk to Harry Potter like that. You can't walk to Seuss Island like that. You can't go anywhere like that. So how do I navigate through the park in order to get to the break room? Well, you have to walk around the park, but don't let anyone see you. So I have to basically play Splinter Cell on my lunch break, so I don't break the illusion that the creepy animatronic Cat in the Hat isn't real, or that the Incredible Hulk isn't actually at the roller coaster. I'm sorry, but there was no Hulk mascot. Nobody dressed up in the suit or anything. Everybody knows it's fake. Even the kids. Hell, the kids are fucking stupid. They go, where's Batman? You're on Marvel Superhero Island. Listen to what you just said. But the parents weren't any brighter than the children. I remember people asking me questions such as, what time is the 3 o'clock parade? I'll repeat that again. What time is the 3 o'clock parade? I would tell them 4:30, just to see if they even were listening to themselves. They weren't, because one woman replied, Howard, the 3 o'clock parade doesn't start till 4:30. We still have time to ride Spooderman. What the fuck is a Spooderman? What do you mean you still have time? The 3 o'clock parade is at 3 o'clock. It's 2:52. It's 8 minutes from now. And you're going to ride Spooderman with your children. I don't want to live on this planet anymore. Why the hell did she call it Spooderman? What the fuck is a Spooderman? Well, I can tell you the reason why. Logically, it's because... Oh, you shut the fuck up! But yeah, that's what I did for almost a year. Worked at Universal Studios dealing with moronic questions such as that. And oftentimes, a lot of people, not to my surprise, call out and don't show up to work. I wonder why. Because who the hell would want to maintain their sanity? But because of this, if one particular part of the park is understaffed, they will send the extra employees of a particular attraction off to help out that side of the park. It's called rescuing. And they only did it if they had the people to spare. So, when you are sent off to rescue an attraction, you have to walk all the way back to the backstage, go to the costume area, which was basically a giant warehouse where you have to check back in your costume and check out a new costume that's associated with that attraction, dress up, and walk all the way back out there. Now, you may say to yourself, weren't there buses, weren't there go-karts, weren't there other modes of transportation other than on foot? Yes, but the golf carts were dedicated to important people. That's not you. And the buses took longer to wait for than it was to actually just walk. It was faster to walk than it was to wait for the bus. And you could take shortcuts if you just didn't give a damn being chewed out. Because I would cut through the sound stages in order to get to where I needed to go. Because it literally walking straight through the sound stages rather than around cut my commute by like 10 to 15 minutes. It was amazing. And I got to see some shit that I don't think anyone has ever had the chance to see. Because when I cut through the soundstage, I saw Spider-Man and a blue man share a pack of smokes. That's a sentence I just said to you all. Yes, I saw a blue man and Spider-Man smoking. And the blue man tugged on his turtleneck and screamed, "It's fucking goddamn hot in this." A blue man. They're usually silent. And he had a smoker's voice. And he screamed out, "It's fucking goddamn hot in this." Well, you're wearing a black turtleneck. In July. Yes. You also have thick blue paint around your face. And you're smoking. You have heat all around you. What you're doing is not helping your situation. And the Spider-Man just nods his head in agreement like, "Yeah, man. I know that feel." Here I come, walking in my radioactive banana jumpsuit. And I just give them the whole nod of approval like, "Hey, I acknowledge you. Do you acknowledge me?" And they just kind of look at me and go like, "What's up? What's up?" You know, that head nod of, "What's up? What's up?" You don't say anything, but you're both on equal grounds knowing that it's cool to pass by. You leave me alone, I leave you alone. End of discussion. I'm here to earn a paycheck just like you. Well, that's pretty much it. But that's a story I have. I could say that because I saw it. I lived it. It was insane. So I go back to the costume area of the warehouse, get my costume because I was going to rescue Rip Ride Rocket, I think it was called, or Rock and Roll Rocket. Either way, it's one of the shittiest roller coasters on the Universal side. Because Universal Studios is divided into two halves. Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios Hollywood, I guess. It's the more Hollywood side. So on that side of the park, you got a roller coaster that was built so fast, so cheap by shitty German engineering, which is weird because they made amazing things in World War II that we still use to this day, that the freaking peak of the roller coaster before you drop down was so cheaply, haphazardly put together. You could see it sway in the wind, just rocking back and forth. Just they actually had to shut it down because it got too egregious. That's how bad that thing was built. It was held together with duct tape and jizz. It's frightening. It was frightening. And the fact that people just moronically go, "I want to ride the roller coaster, yeah." You don't know how much you just put yourself in peril. Because, I've ridden that thing. And I felt like I was going to fall off my seat because the damn harness wasn't tight enough. It didn't go all the way around. It actually was kind of loose. My heart jumped out of my throat. It was bad. It was not a well put together ride. And to this day, I think it's still a popular attraction despite how shittily designed and slapped together it is. I can't fathom it. It's horrifying. However, it's a very simple outfit. You basically put on a bowling shirt and you have your choice of women's sweatpants and men's jeans, right? Now, when you go to the costume area, all the costumes are mixed in. They don't have the men's department and the women's department. They just kind of have all the costumes delegated to one spot. If you're in the Hulk, this is all just kind of universal wear. If you are In like Terminator, this is all just universal wear. You all kind of wear the same thing to cut cost. There's minor differences depending on what you're wearing, but generally you just grab the same outfit because it's a uniform. You just grab the same outfit and go. No one told me how this attraction had different kinds of pants. I didn't know. I just grabbed pants and I grabbed a shirt. And when I went to check out, because you actually have to go to a register to be scanned, someone has to check you out saying, okay, you're checking out these clothes, bring them back at this time at the end of your shift, right? The associate didn't look and say, oh no, you grabbed women's pants. Go back and grab men's pants. This is going to be embarrassing for you. And I would have said, oh, thank you for saving me from the embarrassment. I didn't know. No one corrected me. They just went, okay, beep, beep. If you don't give a shit, neither do I. So I didn't know. Because I come from the Incredible Hulk. We have sweatpants, like these nylon sweatpants. These were just regular sweatpants. I didn't know. And when I put them on, it was so tight around the center, it nearly chopped my balls in half. And I practically had a wedgie the whole time. And still, I didn't know. I just thought to myself, man, these pants suck. I didn't think to myself, are these women's pants? I don't know because I don't wear women's pants, so I would not have known the difference. I didn't know. It's not something that just jumps out at me. Plus, it's universal. I figured, okay, well, they're so fucking cheap, they can't afford any size bigger than this. So I walked around from the costume department, all around backstage, all the way through the park, to the job site. Up until now, nobody has stopped me or said a damn thing except one eccentric gay man that says, you go, you're so brave, wear it, work it. And I'm like, confusingly looking at him going, thank you? Because I didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. And I didn't want to be an asshole and get fired. So I walk into the break room and I see two women at the table looking at their phones. Manager comes out from the office and I introduce myself and he says, oh, you're so-and-so from the Incredible Hulk roller coaster. And I'm like, yes, I am. I'm here to help out. And he takes one look at me and has this paused look on his face going, you do realize you're wearing women's pants, right? And I said to him, no, I did not know that because I literally walked all the way here and nobody corrected me. I've never been to this attraction before. I do not know the uniform attire. So nobody corrected me. I mean, you can wear it if you want. I don't want to because this really hurts. It's super tight around my crotch, even though it makes my ass look great. These pants fucking suck because the pocket, not pockets, pocket, is half the size of a normal pocket. I can't even fit my phone in there. It's super shitty. I'm sorry. Women's pants are super shitty. They don't have pockets. If you ever wonder why women wear actual men jeans, it's so they can have fucking pockets. Here's a good pickup line for you. Next time you see a woman and you want to compliment her dress, instead of saying, my, what a lovely dress, ask her if her dress has pockets. She will shove her hands so deep into them, she will start shaking them at you like an angry squid going, yes, they have pockets. Look at them. Whatever the fuck that means. But if there's any women listening to this, which I highly doubt it, but if there's a small, slim chance that there are women listening to this, your pants fucking suck. I'm sorry, they do. They're not comfortable. They have terrible inventory space. it's complete bullshit that you don't have pockets on both sides. It's fucking horrible. Your pants fucking suck. They're terrible. I understand the purse now, and I understand why some women choose to wear men's jeans. Because they want to have fucking pockets. They look and go, wow, this is so useful. I can put shit in here. If clothing companies give women pockets, they won't need the purse. That's all women want, is just pockets. Give them fucking pockets. It's bullshit. I walked a mile in their pants, literally. And I've seen their struggle. I couldn't even fit my phone. Let them have pockets. Please. It's just a matter of convenience. But yeah, that's how I ended up accidentally wearing women's pants. Now, after everyone was done laughing at me, the manager told me, yeah, go ahead, walk back to the costume department and get yourself some real pants. And I did, and I carried on with my day. Nothing else happened after that. It was not a proud moment in my life, but it was a moment nonetheless. And you never appreciate a moment until it becomes a memory. However, I don't appreciate that moment. Some moments you can't appreciate. You can't. You just kind of look back and go, oh my God. But it happened, and I learned from it. What more need be said? As shitty as that job was, there was one cool thing that happened. I actually got to meet Shaquille O'Neal. Not intentionally, but by accident, because whenever celebrities come visit the park, they actually have to come through the emergency exits and take the back route. They actually see the park through the backstage rather than the front stage. And whenever they do traverse the area, they have to actually close sections off so they don't get bothered or people, harass them for photography. And Shaq came through the Incredible Hulk roller coaster through the fire exit. He actually had to bend down to get through the doorway. And I like Gatorade. That's about as far as I go with sports. So I didn't get starstruck. And I just looked and I went, well, that's a thing that happened today. I saw Shaquille O'Neal. And he looks at me and he says, quite possibly the no fucking shit thing of the year. He looks at me and says, I'm too tall to ride. And I just looked up at him and I nod my head going, yeah, I can see that. Please wait in the waiting area. While his friends and family rode the attraction, he had to sit in the waiting area. And he had the biggest phone that was available at the time. And it looked like a tiny little iPod. Even though it was the biggest phone you can get. About the size of a tablet for a normal person, but to him, it was tiny. He had to play Angry Birds with his pinky. But yeah, that's a thing that happened.
Fuck you, Baltimore! If you're dumb enough to buy a new car this weekend, you're a big enough schmuck to come to Big Bill Hell's Cars. Bad deals. Cars that break down. Thieves. If you think you're gonna find a bargain at Big Bill, you can kiss my ass. It's our belief that you're such a stupid motherfucker. You'll fall for this bullshit. Guaranteed. If you find a better deal, shove it up your ugly ass. You heard us right. Shove it up your ugly ass. Bring your tray. Bring your title. Bring your wife. We'll fuck her. That's right, we'll fuck your wife. Because at Big Bill Hell, you're fucked 6 ways from Sunday. Take a hike to Big Bill Hell, home of challenge pissing. That's right, challenge pissing. How does it work? If you can piss 6 feet in the air straight up and not get wet, you get no down payment. Don't wait. Don't delay. Don't fuck with us or we'll rip your nuts off. Only at Big Bill Hell. The only dealer that tells you to fuck off. Hurry up, asshole. This event ends the minute after you write us a check. And it better not bounce or you're a dead motherfucker. Go to hell. Big Bill Hell's Cars. Baltimore's filthiest. And exclusive on one of the meanest sons of bitches in the state of Maryland. Guaranteed.
Sorry for the interruption in your programming, but we have a very important message to convey to you. I will let the owner of this channel relay the details.
Okay, everyone, please allow me to break character for a minute here, because I do have a serious, important announcement to convey. I will not be able to share the results of the Ancient Gods Part 1 or 2 with all of you, because I myself did not have time to edit and record the rest of it during the month of Doom. So your Doom journey will finish here with Vanilla Doom, and I do want to apologize that I will not be sharing the adventures of Ancient Gods Part 1 or 2 as originally stated. I will make it up to all of you by playing through Horde mode, and maybe a little bit of battle mode, but I'm not that good at battle mode, so we'll mostly probably go through Horde mode, and maybe a couple of fun, like, random off-the-cuff Doom games, like original Doom or something. I don't know. I think I'm just going to stick with Horde mode, because I just seriously don't have the time to edit and record anything complex. As you can see, my brain's already trying to make it bigger than what it should be, because if I could do all that, then why not Ancient Gods Part 1 and 2? Well, because I'm doing it on Nightmare difficulty, and that takes a lot of time. Also, finding videos to edit, doing the voiceovers, like, this month of Doom has been the most produced that I've done. And it does take time, and it does take a lot of work, at least to make the gameplay entertaining, because as I am talking over this footage now, you are just going to see me basically just plow through the game and not really give a shit about style. I'm just soaking up all my one-ups and being a walking meat shield. I didn't really have time to celebrate the month of Doom properly, but the month of Doom is still celebrated, because the main thing, or the main requirement for the month of Doom, is to complete a Doom game, and I have done that. However, I wanted to go a little step further and complete the entire Doom Eternal experience, but given the outcome of what's happening in my personal life, that's not entirely possible at this moment. I definitely could probably do it next year, but let me go ahead and give you the details of what's going on, because none of it is bad. I want you to know that nothing bad is happening in my life right now. In fact, a lot of good things are happening, and I know I made it sound a bit more ominous the way I made it sound, the way I said good, but you know, if you know me, I'm very skeptical, because I'm like, when has anything good ever fucking happened? If anything, I'm waiting for shit to hit the fan. You're always kind of weary. You're like, I don't know. You're on standby. But no, seriously, all good things. I thank anybody passing by, watching, even if you caught it later and you didn't catch it as the episodes were running. I still thank all of you. It's been fun. I actually enjoyed doing this, and it's been very much a big motivator, a fun spiritual journey. And I hope you all enjoyed watching this and listening to me ramble and whatnot. But what's happening is I am moving. I'm not moving out of the state that I'm in. I'm moving actually closer to the city, because originally, as of now, where I live, I pretty much live in the middle of bumfuck nowhere. I'm like in the really deep rural areas in my state, and it's becoming a bit taxing on me and my folks. And at the time of this recording, as I am recording now, we are packing and moving and that's the reason why I won't have time to edit or do anything for the Ancient Gods Part 1 or 2, because all my shit is packed and I'm gonna have to disable internet, so when we move to the other house, I got a lot of setup to do. Yeah, that's the reason why I can't finish Ancient Gods Part 1 and 2. Now, I will finish it for myself. I'm going to be playing it off camera in private because I have recorded stuff. I have been playing it. I just won't be able to edit and upload and share the results with all of you. So, the month of Doom will be completed for me. However, it won't be completed for you. You're just going to get the base vanilla version of Doom. But I figured, you know, I figured, you know, that with the luxury of time that I have, also because I just got done, as I was doing this, the month of Doom, I was also in CDL school, studying to get a Class A license. I believe I mentioned that in previous videos. You see, I can't remember because all my head right now is just filled with semi-information of how to drive 18-wheelers and things like that. So, as I was studying to be a wheelman, I was also editing, recording Doom to the point where I was tired and burnt out. And as you can see, those aren't good things or good qualities to have in trucking. So, something had to be sacrificed, and rather than sacrifice my own life or people on the road, I have to sacrifice Ancient Gods Part 1 and 2 playthrough for y'all. But I will make the announcement here because I want it to be like a fun, fancy edit, and that was another thing because I wanted to make a fun little fancy edit of the ending and whatnot, but I won't even have time to do that, so I'm just gonna flat out say, yes, the month of Doom will be returning. If you're watching this, yes, the month of Doom will be returning next year, and it will be done in advance. I will have all that shit done, so we don't have to worry about doing this and having a whoops, ran out of time. But honestly, I wasn't expecting to move this month or so soon. I mean, I wasn't planning on the move. It's a long story, but you know, like I said, personal things that are beyond my control that won't allow me to give a proper send-off for you all for the month of Doom. And if this video is choppy and slowing down and having some rendering issues, it just goes to show you that I didn't have time to fix it. That was another thing. So let me give you some behind-the-scenes details. The video editor that I have right now, it was giving me problems with the previous version of Coral Studio Pro, because that's what I use. I use Coral Studio Pro because it's cheaper than paying monthly for Adobe Flash, because this is a program that once you pay it once, it's yours. But they just upgrade the features but don't take out the bugs. So whatever new version they have, it still carries the same problems that the last version had. So anytime the frames skip or the video just freezes, like I think it was episode 2 or 3. I want to say it was 3, where I was fighting the Marauder and it just kind of, no, it was 2, I think. No, it had to have been 3. That was, no, because I saved Samuel. You see, I don't fucking, because my brain has just been scrambled and so busy. This is what happens when you're trying to multitask and do things. And the thing is, like, the month of Doom is important to me, but you try telling people in your life with actual adulting responsibilities that I need to finish something for YouTube. That's not important to them. They don't give a shit. So you're just left with, you know, trying to find time that you have that you won't be harassed, because it's important to yourself. So this is basically it. That's all the well, that's not all the information. So with me moving closer to the city, it's because this also involves dumpster fire, and this is kind of a channel update. I'm gonna have a drink here. Being closer to the city, I may actually get real internet, because right now I'm just using a decommissioned hotspot router that's bumming off a cell phone tower, and that's been my internet service. And you may think, wow, that sounds bad. It's a blessing, because originally I had satellite internet. I had Viasat. Piece of shit. Do not ever get satellite internet. It's terrible. It doesn't work, and you can't play online. You can't play online. Believe me, I've tried. I had it for about less than 6 months. It was back in 2019. I got satellite internet when I moved out here, and I couldn't connect to anything. And when I was in the Slayers Club party of QuakeCon 2019, I literally talked to the dev team, and I told them my situation about freaking satellite internet. And Marty looks at me and says, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know shit about satellite internet. So it just goes to show you how much of a thought it is in the games industry. That's not their fault, because who the hell would pick satellite internet willingly as their option? Unless you are an elderly person who wants to look at pictures of their grandchildren and don't mind the internet being out of service every 42 seconds, then you're not the target market. Seriously, even if it's a bright sunny day and there's like a little cloud overhead, you're fucked. That's it. You're not using internet. It rains, no internet. It's mildly cloudy, no internet. Beautifully sunny, a bird's on the satellite, no internet. Bullshit. It's stupid, it doesn't work, and it sucks. So now that I'm moving closer to the city, I need to check what my internet options are, who the providers are, and if there's anybody good in the area that can support actual streaming. Fuck yeah, I'm gonna go with them. And also, streaming is gonna be a possibility again. So Dumpster Fire may end up being a streaming show again, because that's what it was, supposed to be at heart. It originally started with me and my friend Edward, a friend from QuakeCon. We did, the first episode was Resident Evil 3 Remake of, I think it was April of 2020, when we were all quarantined. We just kind of did it just to see if we could do it. We were just so fucking bored. We're like, yeah, why the hell not, right? And it just kind of took off from there. So that was fun. But I wanted to give it more quality, more, bit of a production, and also the fact that we used licensed music in the background before the stream started, and that also fucked with the videos. So that's why a lot of dumpster fire videos, there should be more dumpster fire videos than what they are, but a lot of them we had to take down because of that. And I started to learn, how to YouTube, basically, and how bullshit it is. And I, for one, do this out of a hobby and pure entertainment, because I love sharing games with people. I love, sharing the stories of my gaming adventures with people. So I, for one, do not expect this to be monetized in any way or form. I don't plan on it. I just do this, as a passion project and as a hobby. And, as a way to fulfill my creative outlet. Now, this channel, I don't want it to be just a bunch of Let's Plays. I actually want to have more produced content and things like that. So I am working on some stuff on the side. And I'm not ready to talk about that stuff yet, because it's not really enough to show or share. because it's still very basic. It's just ideas I have in my mind. Most of it I haven't even gotten around to. And now that I will be going back into the workforce, because I did finish my CDL class. I am certified. The biggest thing for me is trying to find a job that has a good work-life balance, because I don't want to be gone for too long to the point where I can't do anything and I don't have a life and driving is just my life. I don't want that. I still want to experience and enjoy things and have a hobby. So that's a big ask for an industry like that too, because it's the equivalent of being a lighthouse keeper. That's what I like to consider trucking. It's the equivalent of being a lighthouse keeper, where back in the old days, the further you were away, or the further you were willing to be away, the more you got paid. The closer you were, the less you had to be there, but the less you got paid. So, as for me, I'm just looking for something stable, but with a good work-life balance, because that's been one of my major complaints with a lot of jobs today, that they do not have a good work-life balance. Like, you go home and you honestly feel like you have less than 2 hours of free time, and that's not enough time to do anything. But you have to maximize whatever those 2 hours are, but you have to go to bed within those 2 hours, and boom, you're back at it again, and it's as if you did nothing but teleported back to work. They only give you enough time to sleep. That's my big issue, and a lot of people are being burnt out. It's mentally stressing on a lot of people. I talk to friends on Discord that have jobs that they're not happy with, but they stick with them because it's what's financially stable. It's what's keeping them financially stable. But in the end, when you have a job that's so toxic and so stressful that your mental health is more valued in your eyes than financial stability, that job just doesn't become worth it anymore. And I totally get it, because that's how I felt with Universal. I know I've told a couple of Universal stories in the past, and I know I just recently told one not too long ago on this episode. But it can be hell, and it's one of those things where you say to yourself, it's not worth it. It's not worth all the stress. I don't want to do this anymore. I'd rather be a bum than do this. And when you start thinking like that, and you have that freedom of, you can't hold me, I'm gonna do this, like, don't be afraid to quit a bad job. Okay? Don't be afraid to quit a bad job. If it's becoming too much and you can't deal with it anymore, get yourself something different. Or better yet, do what I did and invest in a community college skill that's not going to be like a 4-year degree, but can pay well. I have an uncle who has a degree in accounting, right? And he has a Class A CDL. And he just rather drive trucks around, because he makes more money doing that than accounting. Are you kidding me? And then I have another cousin. I have a cousin who is also going into trucking. Like, a lot of people around me are going into trucking because it just pays more, you don't deal with people, and it's not as labor intensive. Don't get me wrong. It takes a mental toll on your body, and it takes a physical toll on your body because you're not moving. So your physical fitness just goes to shit. And you have to find ways to keep active because you can easily get absent-minded and look for simple distractions on the road. Like, it's easy to kind of daydream and wander off, and then you're more hazardous on the road. Because the thing is, that job is meant for the mentally strong-willed. Like, it takes a lot mentally to do a job like that because you've got so many factors to monitor and observe. And you're not just driving for yourself, you're driving for the other people on the road because they're not paying attention to their bad habits. They're just kind of, doing whatever. Like, it's amazing how many people are on the fucking phone while driving. Like, once you drive around commercial, like being a commercial driver, once you learn the hazards and dangers of it, it's unreal. And I was very fortunate enough to be trained by amazing instructors at the class that I attended, and thank you to all of them. Thank you to all of them. I'm very grateful, and I still, will do my best to keep in touch with them, and I showed my appreciation, by, sharing small little, gifts and whatnot, simple little inside jokes like, hey, got you a little Hot Wheel monster truck or, 18-wheeler semi and whatnot. So, we all, had a good time, and while we said our goodbyes, it was more of like, on to bigger and better things. So it's not really goodbye. It's just, see you later kind of thing, that kind of stuff. And everybody in the class, even, my classmates, amazing people. I've never had a class that was just so mature. That's the best way I can put it. I've never been part of a class that was so mature. Everybody was adults. It was great. God. My computer's doing that thing again where something keeps disconnecting and reconnecting. So I apologize if you're hearing ba-da-doom, ba-da-doom, ba-da-doom. Sometimes you can just do that for like several minutes. I don't know. And I haven't had time to check out what the hell's wrong with it. And I'm going to be packing up anyway. So I don't care to fix it. But I do apologize for those watching on their PCs. It's not your computer doing that. This is the video, and I don't have time to re-record it. So, I apologize for everything shitty. But I wanted to at least finish the month of Doom for you all, and at least have an ending to see. And give an update video, because I just don't know, for the life of me, when I will be able to update again. If it starts doing this for like 5 minutes straight, I will come back to this and figure out what the hell's going on back there, because that'll be annoying if it's just like 5 minutes constantly doing that. But where was I? Oh yeah, I've never had a class full of actual mature adults, so everyone was great to study with and work with. And I thank everybody, and so supporting too, honestly. Like, that class mildly gave me faith in humanity. It really did. Like, when the world becomes so stressful and you start losing faith in humanity and you think everybody's like a scumbag asshole, you actually forget people can be nice. And when you have those moments of humanity where complete strangers are willing to be kind to another and work together or share something. There was a student in the class that when we started doing maneuvers outside in the hot sun, they were willing to buy drinks and bring a cooler every day. Didn't charge anybody, didn't ask anybody for money. They just brought it out of the kindness of their heart. And everybody participated. Those who could afford participated in restocking that cooler for that person. And it astounded me because I'm like, wow. There is faith in humanity. Like, humanity has a chance. People can be nice still. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's simple little things like that, you know? Or how everybody gave constructive feedback and words of encouragement. Especially to me, you know, when I had many times of doubt. Because honestly, one thing also, while you may not know behind the scenes, but this has been one of the more emotional month of dooms that I've ever had in recent years. And it has been the most symbolic to the month than ever. While it may just be a bunch of videos that you're watching, for me, the month of doom is still being celebrated in its most purest form. Because the idea of the month of doom in its core ideas is not only finishing a month, not only playing Doom for a month and finishing a Doom title, but do something new that completely terrifies you. Try something new. Do something different. And this was certainly different. And I always thought to myself I could never drive these things. I've avoided for so long. And it's just weird how life kind of forced you into it. Because when I worked at FedEx, and there's a position called a switcher, where someone just swaps out the trailers and drives what's known as a yard goat. It's not like an actual proper tractor for a semi. It's just, you know, kind of like a hybrid tractor that's only meant for warehouses. It's a simplified version of it, where you're just maneuvering the trailers around. So we only had one person who could do that at the time, and they're like, yeah, well, we need more people, we need more switchers, and you know, all the managers should be trained in this. And I'm like, yeah, that's not the role of the manager. Because that was another thing that I kind of hated also about being a manager. It was the simple fact that they wanted to give you skills that weren't at all related to being a manager. They just wanted you to be like a super package handler. So you were just a glorified package handler with the title of manager, but you never stopped doing what you did before. You're just doing basically the work of everybody, and it just got exhausting. And on top of paperwork, so it's like, you give me no time to do anything that's even remotely related to my position. My position was to supervise, delegate, instruct, and to ensure the safety and well-being of others. That's what the role should have been, but it wasn't. So, yeah, it's one of the many reasons why I left. That's basically, it's one of the many reasons why I left. I left for for other reasons, but one of the many reasons. The main reason was because the higher-ups were not doing their job, so toxic work environment and poor management. My coworkers, they were fine. Bless them. Great people to work with. The higher ups, you know, like the station manager, the sort manager, or yeah, I think it was the station manager, like the person that runs the building or something, and manages the other managers, you know. The boss's boss, you know, that kind of totem pole BS. And just But either way, quick recap, quick highlights, to simplify everything that I'm saying. I will finish the Ancient Gods Part 1 and 2 for myself. I will not be able to share the results on YouTube. So, your Doom journey will end here. I am moving. By the time you're watching this, I am moving and most likely will have everything packed. So, yeah. Dumpster fire may be, I put in quotes, may be returning as a live stream show. So, all of you can participate in chat. Hopefully. We'll give it a test run. We'll see. I gotta check which internet providers are available in my area. Number 2, keep working on side projects for the channel. Update some of the art. Don't worry, Rare Mina isn't going anywhere. When I mean update some of the art, give her a visual update, because I just kind of need to, I don't know, take more time on in drawing, like redo some of the assets, give it that, you know, pizzazz. As you can see, I am just trying to finish this. Like, I'm just like dying left and right, and you're gonna even see that in the next mission. I'm just dying left and right, where I'm like, I just need to fucking finish this. Because it's one of those things where you should sleep. Yeah, but I need to fucking finish this. Because I know, you know, the people who do watch, I appreciate you watching. I know you do care. I know you can't contribute a whole lot of time to watching this. Even if you watch it, you know, in bite-sized chunks, the fact that you still watch, I appreciate it. And it's because of that, it's why I was willing to stay up past my recommended bedtime, because I had school the next day, to finish this for you. I did this for you. And was tired because of it the next day. Oh, I definitely paid sleep debt that day. Whew. Definitely for sure. Oh, what do we have here? Sorry, I was checking my messages. But yeah, that's what's going on in life. That's what's been happening, and that's really all I have to say. If you made it to the tail end of this video to even catch any of this updated info, I appreciate your dedication for watching all of this. I hope you've been enjoying this. Thank you to all who pass by and even look at it and go, okay. Because it's, It's fun, and next year will be better. And we'll be playing, because that's another thing. I didn't know if I wanted to put it on YouTube this year. But because the month of Doom is just known by so many people around me, and everyone asks, are you celebrating it? Are you celebrating again this year? Well, yeah. Of course I am. Because it's not like any other holiday where if you don't celebrate Christmas or Thanksgiving, other people will celebrate it around you. Or Halloween, for example. If you don't celebrate Halloween, other people will celebrate it around you. And you already kind of know that the environment around you, what month it is. Oh, it's October. Oh, it's December. The world will celebrate around you, and even if you don't tend to celebrate that holiday, you would at least feel the effects of it and know that it's going on. The month of Doom doesn't have that luxury, because if I don't celebrate the month of Doom, nobody knows it happened. It's like if a tree falls in the woods, does it make a sound? So, yeah. The month of Doom doesn't happen around you, because if I don't celebrate it, it doesn't exist. It can't exist. So it's not like, no, I'm taking a break this year, not celebrating. Didn't mean it still went on. It literally didn't happen that year. And I've never done that. I definitely don't plan on stopping now. I mean, I've been celebrating 17 years strong. And during the year 2020, when the pandemic was at its worst, and everybody had to cancel all their events, everybody wanted to celebrate the month of Doom, even though they didn't understand it, because I guess it's just in human nature, people want to celebrate something. To have an excuse to look forward to something. That fascinates me. That year was fascinating. Because that was the 16th year anniversary of the month of Doom. I believe the year before that was the 15th year anniversary. That was 2019. But don't worry, next year it will be better. It will be planned in advance. Hell, as soon as I'm done posting this video and packing, I will start making preparations ASAP. Like I said, I didn't know if I was going to do it for YouTube. And I figured, you know what, since some people are looking forward to it, why not, right? Share the celebration. Share the experience if people look forward to this. If people want to see it, so be it. Even if it's just one person. Share the joy of the month of Doom.
Mr. Dumbass, I can bring a lot to Dumbass and Dumbass. I'm a go-getter. Dumbass material all the way. So, am I your man, Mr. Dumbass?
The name is Dumas. What a dumbass.
Alright, well, I will leave you all with my final thoughts and drop you off here. As I said before, I will finish the Ancient Gods Part 1 and 2 for myself, off camera. I apologize again for not having the luxury of time to edit and complete those videos, but this month has been a roller coaster, and I have just been overwhelmed with so many changes and lots of new things happening along the way. But let's reflect back on some of the things that we have learned. And one of them being that Doom is eternal. Always carry the invisible one. All corporations are the UAC. And fight like hell. So, that's some of the ones that I can think of off the top of my head. Right now my brain is fried because I'm still packing, I'm still prepping, and I'm thinking about the future. And I'm thinking about what's going to be next for the channel. And also, since I am already considering doing the month of Doom next year, because like I said before, if I don't celebrate it, it doesn't exist. So I'm going to make it bigger, better, and as soon as the month of this year is done, I'm going to start making preparations. And I'm going to see how wacky and fun and crazy we can get. Who knows? It'll be the 18th year, so it'll be a full-grown adults. The month of Doom will be 18 next year. Yeah. Just blows my mind that I've been doing this for so long and I still do it. And I mean, it's made its rounds. People know it. They kind of recognize it. Funny enough, the childhood friend of the family, the guy that introduced me to Doom all those years ago, he apparently found that article and got in contact with my mom, and we're able to keep in touch again. We haven't spoken to them in years. We lost touch. It's one of those, like, they were friends of the family many years ago. Nobody had a falling out. People just lost contact with each other. As you did back in the day. You didn't have social media. You had a phone book, and if you lost the phone book, you lost that number. It was as simple as that. That's how people kept track of each other. They didn't have Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. They had a phone book. And you had numbers. And if you lost the phone book and lost the number, well, you lost contact with that person unless, you knew them enough to know where they would go on a regular basis. That's the funny thing now when you think about it. It's so easy to keep in touch with people, and yet nobody talks to each other. But the people who haven't spoken to each other in years can still talk as if, they just saw each other yesterday. Oh my god. And that's the funny thing, I was talking to a friend on Discord, and, they were giving me a serious heart-to-heart talk, and they were having that deep conversation about, just, for lack of a better word, calling it quits. And I said to them, for something as serious as that, I understand why. Because I've thought about it myself. Hell, I've attempted myself 3 times. And it doesn't get any easier. And it becomes more and more justified with each attempt. But the only reason why you even bother to do such a thing to yourself is because you feel like you're alone. And you're not alone. I always thought the worst thing in the world was to be alone. But later on in life, I learned that that's not the worst thing. The worst thing is being around people who make you feel alone. You gotta find new ways to keep going. Find new reasons to see tomorrow. And that's what the month of Doom is for me. It's that mental evaluation of giving newfound purpose in my life. What's a new thing I want to experience? What's a new thing I want to see and do? What's a new thing I want to experience and share stories with, right? We laugh because it's better than crying. And I'm a firm believer that no matter how horrendous the situation is, if you can look back at it and laugh, you moved on. And I feel like we don't teach people now to move on. We teach them to weaponize their grudges and to hold on to negative feelings. And that's very problematic, and that's going to create a toxic world. And that's probably why more and more people are depressed and angry and shouting and causing harm to themselves and each other. Because we're encouraging people that they have been wronged and they need retribution. When really, you just need to shut the fuck up, grow up, and learn that life isn't fair and here to kiss your ass. It's here to kick it. Beat it down to the ground. Doom is eternal. And when you learn that, no matter how big the problem is, look at those yams! No matter how big the problem is, like that, you can learn to deal with it. Sure, there's going to be some speed bumps along the way. But you know what? That's part of life. And part of being an adult is sharing your experience in life and helping others get through it the right way. Don't be afraid to laugh at yourself. Don't be afraid to be honest with yourself. Stop making that bubble bigger. It's not going to protect you. It's going to burst. You're going to go insane. And you're going to wonder where it all went wrong. Well, really, where it went wrong was the fact that you try to hide the truth from yourself. Reality will always come creeping in. It will win in the end. The night will always win. You know, there's no such thing as daytime. It's only daytime because the sun exists. The sky's blue because of the reflection of the atmosphere. Really? It's cold, dark, and soulless the whole time you're on planet Earth. It's just the sun shows up every now and again. But one day the sun will not be here. And it will be a cold, dark, desolate rock. And whatever's left is going to have to learn how to deal with it. I mean, step away from your Twitter. Step away from your social medias, honestly. Because high school's over. I never had the high school experience. It's both a blessing and a curse because I feel like I can't connect with most people because they always reflect on high school and always use it as an analogy of some sort. And the only high school knowledge that I have comes from anime and 80s comedies like Ferris Bueller's Day Off. That's about my knowledge of high school. I guess the closest thing I had was attending my, freshman year in college, but when I learned that college was just Googling shit, I made an adult decision and said, well, you're fucking useless. I don't need to be here and keep wasting money if all you're going to tell me is, oh, just use Google. But buy this expensive book that has the same information as Google, just out of order, because we keep rearranging the chapters each year just to make the new edition relevant and update the teacher's syllabus. Like, school doesn't have to be useless. But they made it feel so useless with how much homework they give you, to the point where you're like, well, if I'm just doing the research at home, why the hell do I need to come over here for you to say, yeah, good enough? I'm not here to regurgitate an opinion you like or don't like. But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, just find something to motivate you and work up the nerve to go on. I know it sounds impossible, especially in these trying times, but honestly, I feel that's what we need to do. You're always going to have problems because doom is eternal. But it doesn't mean that life is futile. You got to find those pockets of humanity. I like to call it pockets of humanity. Those small little moments where you could see the world or people coming together to agree on something. Enjoy those 2 seconds before it gets destroyed, because those are pockets of, like, I say 2 seconds because they just get shorter and shorter and shorter to the point where we have nothing in common anymore. But I will say it can be very, very difficult on the mind to work up the nerve to continue in these trying times, but you got to, because everybody goes through that feeling of, I'm over it, I'm done, I don't want to do this anymore. And I feel like if we talk about it more, and if we're more open about it, you realize just how not so uncommon and alone you are in the thought. And it's that moment of vulnerability that actually could bring people together. I was talking to a close friend of mine, and we were sharing stories on why we attempted and how that went. And we're at the bar, and we're laughing about it. Because it's behind us now. And we're confident enough to look back and laugh at it. We're stronger people for it. It doesn't bother us anymore. And in that moment, we don't let it get to us. I don't let it get to me. But I can't say I can't speak for everyone, but that's just my personal experience and how I feel about it, and how I dealt with it, and how others around me dealt with it. Because you know that that old expression, how do you deal, bro? I honestly don't have a good answer for you. I wish I did, but sometimes that's just how life is. You just do it. Yeah. This month has been very motivating for me because I never thought I would be able to drive a semi. I kept telling myself, I can't do it. Seems impossible. But I had people who kept pushing me, and I kept pushing myself. Because I could have walked away. I could have said, to hell with it, I don't want to do this anymore. But I didn't want to let the people who believed in me down. Because I believed in them, and they believed in me, so we learned a lot from each other. It was very emotional, and I look back at it now as a spiritual journey because I did grow a lot from that. I did. I've learned a lot about myself and how sometimes you can be your own worst enemy. When I was taking the maneuver test, I was so sure that I had it. And I was so afraid of fucking up that I ended up psyching myself out. And I failed. So the second attempt, because you're allowed 2 attempts, in my second attempt, I just had this feeling of, I don't care about it anymore. If I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. I didn't let it worry me because in the end, I just didn't even think about it. Because I overthink things. I overthink things a lot. And when I didn't think about it, and I just treated it as, you know, a thing that I'm going to do for the afternoon. Not like my, you know, future career depended on it, because I didn't think I'd, you know, move on from that. I just like, whatever. I felt, you know, more calm, more relaxed. It was just, it is what it is, right? And I was able to do everything just fine because I wasn't worried. I don't want to say I didn't care, but that's the truth. I just, at that point, I was just kind of, yeah, I don't care, whatever. Let's just get this over with. And yeah, we do this, we do that, and then the truck goes in here. And I did it, and I was like, oh, wow. And I did it in half the time. So really, it just comes down to anxiety can get the best of you, and stressing out too much really can, you know, overthrow your better judgment. You just gotta learn to, you know, have more confidence in your ability to do things. Or just not worry so damn much. And it will come out more naturally and more effortless. than, you know, being tensed and kind of bracing for impact. That's what I've learned, apart from many other things. However, that's preparations for another year. But yeah. Speaking of preparations, for dumpster fire, if anybody has any requests of old school games they'd like to see from the 6th or 7th generation of consoles, feel free to leave a comment and let me know what you want to see. To those who don't know what the 6th or 7th generation of consoles were, that's the PS2 or PS3 era, or original Xbox and 360 era, or GameCube and Nintendo Wii era, and Game Boy Advance. Game Boy Advance to Nintendo DS. Yeah. Because when Metroid Prime came out, the DS came out. I'm trying to remember what year the original DS came out. It had to have been like 2005 or something. Man, thinking about that thing is giving me nostalgia, because I just remember how high-tech it was, but how big, gray, and bulky it was. Looks ugly now, but at the time, oh ho ho ho, it looked amazing. Look at that. It's like you're holding a Nintendo 64 in your hand. The games are fully rendered in 3D. Whoa! Oh, and the PSP. Amazing. I still have my PSP. I got a PSP emulator now, but I still love holding it, listening to the chimes and the music. Listen to me. I'm getting too nostalgic for retro systems already. I'm going to save that for dumpster fire, but I can't help it. I just love the 6th generation so damn much, and I honestly feel like that's where the industry peaked. I never thought we would have a return to the boomer shooter genre. I mean, it wasn't called the boomer shooter genre, but because of what Doom 2016 did and what shooters pretty much devolved into, which were basically just multiplayer after multiplayer 5-hour Call of Duty style campaigns, this kind of level of unique innovation of navigating terrain, having unique weapons, and also the magic pocket where you got like 10 guns in one inventory slot, not having to reload, just making it more arcade, that fun pick up and play arcade vibe. That's where I feel like shooters really excel at, when they're just simple, easy to pick up, as easy as Tetris. You know, as many Tetris games there have been over the years, there hasn't really been a change to Tetris core fundamentals. So, much like Doom, when 2016 came out, there wasn't a change in its fundamentals. But Doom Eternal really upped its ante by making everything super fast and rather platform heavy. Shooters and platforming kind of go together like tuna and peanut butter. They're not necessarily meant to be together, but some people find a way to make it work. And I think Doom Eternal found a happy medium. Now, with the Ancient Gods Part 2, I think it kind of went a little overboard and should scale it back some. But it's a good balance with just the vanilla version of Doom Eternal. because the platforming kind of adds to that whole momentum speedrun kind of feel. And that's what I like about it. It's not like you're trying to navigate through narrow edge cliffs like in Half-Life in the Grand Canyon level. Oh, that level. Or Zen. Oh, how I hate Zen. Original Half-Life 98 Zen. I hate it. The Black Mesa Source remake? Beautiful. Beautiful. Go fucking play that. That's the definitive way to play Half-Life. But I've been loving this boomer shooter renaissance. And I never thought I would have a collection of old school FPS games like this to play again. I thought we were just going to be stuck in the whole Call of Duty-esque style of shooters, but no, they're back in full force. A lot of indie titles though. A lot of mainstream titles, they're not doing it. So you don't see EA making their own. You don't see Ubisoft. Everybody wants to do Battle Royale now. But a lot of indie developers and small studios, they've been really picking up the slack, and I love it. Now, if only we can get a resurrection to arena combat shooters like Unreal Tournament and Quake 3 and Tribes, I would fucking love that. Please, somebody make a spiritual successor to Unreal Tournament. I would be thrilled if it's good. I would be sad if it's bad. I mean, I could be thrilled at the concept in my mind. Hell, I was thrilled for Unreal Tournament 4, for the lack of a better title, because it was just called Unreal Tournament whatever year that was supposed to be. I think 2018, 2017. Before Fortnite ever became a thing, Unreal Tournament was supposed to have a massive comeback. It was an early access. It was utilizing Unreal Engine 4. It brought back some amazing classic maps. Oh, it was looking good. Then Fortnite happened and decided to do its Fortnite Battle Royale. And they haven't touched it since, and Epic abandoned Unreal. It's a dead game. They pretty much what was the name of that game that a lot of people liked? It was a MOBA third-person MMO. I always forget the name of it, but a friend of mine, they always talk... Paragon, that's what it was. Paragon. Yeah, they basically Paragoned its ass. If there's a multiplayer game that's not making them $1 billion in franchise rights and merchandise alone, they'll drop it like a bad habit. Huh. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I got a lot of important things that I got to take care of today. I've actually been doing a lot of this recording in chunks, so it just goes to show you how busy it's been and how little time I have to give Doom Eternal a complete send-off, because I wanted to do Ancient Gods Part 1 and 2 and share it on YouTube. I really did. And again, I do apologize that I'm not able to share that with you, but if it makes you feel comfortable, I am finishing it for myself behind closed doors off camera. So, but I just don't have time to edit, record, and do a lot of stuff. And also make sure that the recording works, because, oh man, episode 1 almost didn't happen because I ran into a bunch of technical issues. I mean, I'm still finding technical issues. I just need to build a new PC. But that's going to be later down the line, and that's going to be another odyssey on its own. So, but for now, I got to make this one work and do what I can with it, and do my best to entertain you all as best I can. And I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you appreciated it. I enjoyed it. I appreciated it. I appreciate all of you. It's been fun. And I'll be back next year. It will be bigger. It will be better. And it will be completed. Yes, it'll be completed before anything else happens. So, you will get a proper month of Doom next year. I will promise you all that. You will get a proper month of Doom next year. This year was just a bit more... I bit off more than I can chew. But, you know, that's one of the benefits of having a small channel. And also the benefits of just having, you know, 1 or 2 people pop by. I could tell 2 people, sorry about that. As opposed to having 1,000 people going, no, yeah. So, that's one of the benefits of having a teeny weeny channel. I can tell all 2 people, sorry. And they'll be reasonably, you know, understanding. So... And 9 times out of 10, they're people I know, so it doesn't matter. At least in that regards. But if you're someone I don't know and we're looking forward to that, I apologize, and I will make it up next year. But hey, if there's still time left, I will probably try uploading a little bit of Horde mode and maybe show that off if there's time. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I got. And I really gotta take care of some personal stuff now, but again, I appreciate it. Thank you all. You stop by, say hello, and are willing to share this ridiculous holiday with me. I will see you all next year in the 18th year anniversary of the month of Doom. Oh boy. And don't worry, we'll make it really special. Super special. Alright. Well, let's go ahead and watch the Icon of Sin perish and die. And as you saw, that BFG shot was terrible. It just goes to show you how much I was rushing this, going, I need to just get this done. I need to just get this done. Just goes to show you how much I was just plowing through it rather than trying to do anything with showmanship. I was just trying to plow through it. Oh, man. And earlier in the Urdak level, before I give a send-off, at the Urdak level, you may have noticed that in the first beginning parts before the cutscene, where I see the Con Maker performing the ritual, you may have noticed, why is everything infinite? Well, it's because when I got into the second level, or part 2 of, God, I forgot the name of it already, where Samuel was showing me where they extract the souls from hell. OBS had the audio off, and it didn't record a damn thing. It didn't record the sound. And I was talking and shit. Didn't record the sound of the gameplay. So that's why you have complete silence. Because I was still playing, I just didn't have gameplay audio. Because it wasn't capturing the gameplay audio, but it captured my audio. And I found out by the time I got to Urdak, and I was like, oh no. Because what people don't know, if you never played Doom Eternal, is whatever the characters say in-game, they don't repeat themselves. The cutscenes do, not the in-game dialogue. So Samuel Hayden was not going to say things again, and Vega was not going to say things again. But at that point, considering how much this has just been, kind of sloppy and not really focusing on the narrative experience. Kind of didn't matter, but I felt like, just to give it some effort, I went back and recorded just the first half. And then with the footage that I did manage to redo, I went back and redid Urdak proper. But at that point, as I was piecing together this episode, all that, stuff in my life, the moving, the CDL, the packing, it kind of went into full effect, and I didn't have time to give proper thoughts or proper editing, and this is why you have what you have now. So there you go. Icon of Sin is slain, and that concludes the month of Doom. At least for you. This is where I will be dropping you off. So thank you. And good night. And remember, Doom is eternal.
And you will be their savior. Your strength will be their shield, and your will their sword. You will remain unbroken, for your might is eternal.
And that is that. Well, this concludes our broadcast for today. Thank you for joining us. We hope you come back again soon. See you in hell.